string one. Hopefully at the back.
Do you want to know what you're doing? Would you like some instructions?
Probably start with draining the oil out of it first.
Yep. So this is Tim's VW Kombi Transmission.
Good on, Tim.
And it's the one that you've wired the engine for. Instead of having the mid sump, it's now got a front sump which is flat. Which means the transmission is now on an angle. And we're putting UZS131, but we're putting Gen 2 management on it. Do you want to do the? Would you like to do the farm bike instead of the transmission? So this is a Gen 2 wiring loom for the transmission. So it's got the 8-pin solenoid plug. You do have to do a small repair. It's just a single pin to the solenoid, so you're easy there. You're taking tail housing off and you're removing 28 of the 32 teeth. Fitting into this one down here, this hole, we're putting a normal sensor. And we can just leave this one off for the moment. So this one on the goes to the dash. But we're just going to leave it off, whether he puts a cable in, whether he puts a separate sensor into there. I don't think the guts are going to fall out. Or whether we run a speed sensor for the dash, or we run the dash off the ECU. Or we haven't got that far. The plan doesn't go that far. But take the tail housing off. And we're going to modify the pickup in there. And change the sensor. Change the loom. We might end up changing the pan. And we're going to put one new bell housing on it. Easy. And a new gasket and a new filter in it. And I don't even know what filter is going to be in it, sorry. Because this is old stuff. Good. Happy. And I'll do the farm bike. I'll do the important stuff, the farm bike.
It does not look good.
It doesn't smell very nice either.
No.
Oh, well, maybe we just scrap that plan completely and get a normal box.
Yeah.
I think
I might save Tim with some heartache.
I think so too. 6-speed? Oh, we're not running the Haltech. We can't run the 6-speed.
Tim, time for a Haltech.
Yeah, he wanted to. We'll go. Let's go find what boxes we've got, eh? That's just mud, guys. That's just absolute shite.
Just gonna put this back in.
Yeah, stop it running out. We might just totally change the plan, so you won't get to see us changing this, and we don't need to change the shifter. I'll just find like this. I was going to get you to change the shift selector plug too. You don't have to do that. Just all goes in, and I think it'll give it. Let's line another box up next to it, and we'll see what it looks like. Eh? Don't sniff your hand. What's that face?
That's not fucking. That's not very pleasant.
Oh. Your gearbox is horrible. Check out my leaky toilet. It didn't go. Stop sniffing the stuff, man.
It smells better than that.
Yeah,
like that's actually quite pleasant.
Yeah,
not good.
My gasket's broken. It's not going to go. I think the main jet actually needs to have a hole in it.
That's for the fuel economy.
That's super fuel economy. That one.
It's the not economy.
He did say it might need the carburetor cleaned. Not. The carburetor is absolutely stuffed. Cool. Excellent. Oh, I got a job to do.
So you need a leaky toilet.
It wouldn't come off. It just wouldn't slip out. And I think it was because of that there. Right. You're sorting Tim's, not us.
I have sorted Tim's. Broken.
Wow.
Fucked. I just let that drain overnight.
It's looking good. Beauty. We've got a trans kit for it. Bit of a clean. It's got the right sensors. Awesome. This one's got the right sensor for the dash if we choose to use it. On this side, it's got the right speed sensor. It's got the right shifter switch. It's got all the stuff that we need to match our ECU. Inside there is the temp sensor and the solenoids, shift, and those are the line pressure and the lockup. A couple of notes on these transmissions. This is not a kick-down cable. Okay, that is a line pressure cable. On the A341, some 340s, the ones with the line pressure cable, that's not a kick-down cable. That increases the line pressure based on throttle position. The line pressure solenoid in the transmission reduces that to improve shift quality. That's how these work. They should run on type 4 transmission fluid. Originally they were spec'd to type 2, wasn't ideal. They went to type 3, still not ideal, went to type 4. And that's where Toyota left the spec, that's what they should have. They are not all the same, but they kind of interchange to a point if you do it right. And lots of people get stuck there. And it's raining too heavy, so I think I'm going to wait until this rain stops. Yeah, is that computer plugged in?
Yeah.
I've got seals. So I got the front seal, and I've got the rear seal. There's a couple of shims in there, so we're going to make sure we get the shims.
What shims?
Which shims? The ones that are right there.
Oh yeah, that's it, okay. Do we want to make that?
No, I'm not changing the shims. I'm making sure that the shims stay in, because they space her up for the housing on the back. Oh. Hold the box. Are we happy there? So there's your two shims.
And do you want them on that side of the seal? No, you're pulling it off. No,
no, so these spacer the back bearing correctly.
Yep.
Okay, when this goes on, the nut
that
gets done
lines
up.
With there, sharp, perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it puts the correct amount of pressure on that bearing.
Oh, okay.
And then the seal, there's a seal that runs on that surface. And of course you've cut the spigot off, and then we put the nut on.
Oh, that big huge nut.
Yeah, the one you tidied up. This one, you can just punch it all the way in. So that's, you got to watch it, you got to get a feel. But I took it just inside that chamfer there.
Yep.
It's got like the hard locking bit, so it's not going to come out.
Yep.
So it's got quite a stiff metal ring to hold it in place.
And does it have a spring in there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how seals work.
Yeah.
That's generally how they work there. And yeah, you can look in there, you can punch it all the way home. You just got to, every time you take a seal out, have a look inside and see where it sits, see if it does have a home or it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, like some oil pumps, they'll just have to sit into the housing properly.
Yeah.
Where some will actually have a piece that'll push up against.
Yeah.
So that's the back one, then we're going to put the 3-bolt flange on it. So, well, we're going to replace the flange. So we've taken the 3-bolt, machined it, made it a 4-bolt. And then you just bolt it up. Yeah. It centralises in the middle there. So that's the back all done. Let's move to the other end. It's not in park. Oh wait, you push it all the way forward, it comes all the way back. So 6 positions: low, second drive, neutral, reverse, park. Big gap between park and reverse. And that's where guys get it wrong if they're putting different shifters on them.
Okay.
So we're actually going to use, what are we using? We're going to use UZS131. So no overdrive button. Instead it goes, that's going to be our overdrive button.
Okay.
It's quite a nice shifter. Right, let's turn this box around and get to the other end.
What's your tools there?
Yeah. Any lines?
You alright for you?
Yeah, that's good. Right, slip that converter up. We should have drained it already, so there shouldn't be too much oil. It's actually easier if you take the bell housing off.
Oh, to do the seal?
Yeah, but I think I'll get it in there. You're not going to get it with a screwdriver.
Okay.
I'll get a seal puller, eh? That's definitely a pick. This is a seal puller.
Okay.
Yeah, you can probably pick little stuff out of it and O-rings and stuff, but
Yeah.
but this is
It's a beast, eh?
What's she doing now? You two? Hi.
and you'll see this one.
Here's your food source.
No, I actually bought it for his mummy.
Here's this one. You can see it's actually got a place where it goes home.
Yep.
Just give it a bit of a wipe. I find the Loctite, like the 518, the flange sealant, just helps it slide in. So when you're doing it in a less than ideal situation, you know, because that would have had that seal pressed in on the pre-installation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You would have a big drift and they push it into place and then they assemble the transmission.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more awkward doing it around a bell housing, and so it just makes it slide in easier. And you see how well it slid in.
Yeah.
Didn't take much. I wasn't smacking it hard or anything. It just slid in.
Could you use something else as a lubrication?
Could do.
Yeah.
But the great thing with the flange sealant is it then stops it coming out again.
Yeah.
I had problems with a few aftermarket crank seals, not on UZs, in my previous mechanical lifetime, and they would try to come out because the clearances would they just weren't quite enough crush by, you know, a little bit of a millimetre.
Yeah.
And so this I found has been a really effective way of minimising the chance of failure.
Yeah.
And a lot of rubber seals, you watch me, I push them all by hand. I just flick them in with my fingers. The metal back ones, not so much, but a lot of the rubber ones, I just... Cam seals, I push them by hand. Crank seals, I put them by hand. You can't do that if you didn't have a little bit of something to make them slip in easy.
Yeah.
Okay, this has got the right shifters on it. Right selected, this has got the right gear selector switch. It's got the extra speed sensor. And it's got trans-cooler lines. So we've got to put it on, try and get it all to sit in the right place in that, on that back of that back of the engine. We'll slip that torque converter in. Grab your torque converter. Maybe you know how to fit torque converters?
I'd say.
So you've got a gear pump drive there.
Yep.
And then you've got your spline and your spline. And you've got a spigot in there.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go, and then it goes dunk one more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, and that's where guys get it wrong if they don't get that second plonk in. And we'll give this just a little bit of a clean up and a little bit of a lube. That just sits into the back of the crank.
What do you want me to lube it with?
Just a little bit of assembly lube. Something slippery.
Okay.
Okay? Just helps it slide in the back of this crankshaft. They're all the same on the UZs. And you also got to check it hasn't, with our engines, that they haven't been run as a manual at some point. You've got a spigot bearing in, because that looks, you look silly doing that. Right, we've got
Love it.
a a box bolted up. We're going to have to look at the dipstick mounting because this one had a different setup with the box. But that's good. And we'll look at some cooler lines. And putting a loom on.
Yeah.
And of course
That goes there.
and of course there's the torque converter bolt. So
That goes there.
under here, while it's still able to be, are you finishing that up? While we can still get under there, we need to put the torque converter bolts in. You've done torque converter bolts before?
I have, but a long time ago.
Okay, so we can put them in, turn it over. Now they run 5 of one type and 1 of a different type.
Just to make it exciting. What,
Yeah, one of them's got like a shank on it. It helps it all line up.
Okay.
And then,
Is that the first one we put in?
oh, I don't know, I just put them in. I still just put them in. And then I turn it over. So just bring them up, but don't have them really, really tight.
Yeah.
Turn them all over, and then go through and tighten them once they're all in.